we said this beforehand, but I think it's time to, just be real honest and take the gloves off. For me personally, of how I feel about it. And,
Yeah.
so I guess I'll throw it over to you. We got the grittiest team in the NFL going to Foxborough. What, I guess, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I don't know. To me, it's comical because I was fighting myself last week. Like, do I want to be optimistic? Like, we score 45 points, but we gave up 48. Like, how do you kind of look at these types of things? And I just feel like, I just heard a couple of things last week as far as like, just being an NFL team, you got to be able to like you can do one thing really, really well and maybe do one thing like kind of average. Like that's really like you can still kind of be a successful NFL team, but like the Lions have decided that they're going to be the best scoring team in the league and the worst defense in the league. You just can't do that. You got to be at least formidable in defense. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm asking for Aaron Glen's head. You can't be. I mean, I'm watching this 2nd and 10, 2nd and 14, running man blitz. Trying to have the. He's trying to put all this pressure. Kind of reminds me of Don Brown, honestly, from Michigan. Just trying to run a lot of man, doing a lot of blitzing. It don't take like a super casual
in
like
the house on like 3rd and 14.
Yeah, like the casual fan can sit here and be like, why are we blitzing all these people on like 3rd and long? Like like so he's just doing things that I feel like are very like boneheaded, putting the defense in a bad spot. You're putting pressure on our offense. It hasn't changed. It ain't gonna change this week. We just getting lucky because we got a team that don't have a starting quarterback, really don't have a whole lot of weapons. Yeah, they might be running their 3rd string out there. If Hoyer, if he can't play, but I don't, I don't really know what my thoughts are as far as this game. I don't know how to feel. I just know that New England gonna make things hell. Like they always gonna find a way. We saw them with super depleted teams since Tom's left. They still found a way to be competitive. We just watched them go to Green Bay last week and went losing overtime. Made stuff hard for Aaron Rodgers. One of the best quarterbacks in the league. So I can only imagine what it might look like for Goff finally playing a game outside, wind. There's a lot of factors that are coming into play that haven't been in play prior, and we still haven't been successful to start the season off. So, yeah.
No, I mean I agree, and I think it's just being brutally honest. I'm not even sure where to start, but I'll say we're on the road, playing one of the best head coaches of all time, great defensive mind. I don't think, we're obviously running the ball pretty well and Goff's making timely throws and, things are, we are doing some things correct, but
right.
We also, I just believe that Goff will revert back to the standard deviation, the mean. He's going to revert back to what he is.
He's due for it.
He's due for it. He's due for a couple pick games. He's due for a fumble. He's due for, just to kind of revert back to who he is. I hate to say that.
Yeah.
He has been playing very great, but very well, I should say. But I kind of look forward to that, and just blatantly getting outcoached by Belichick. Belichick, it's the time for them to kind of turn their season around too. This is kind of a make it or break it for them too. If they lose this one, the wheels can kind of fall off.
Yep.
As far as having a successful season or any type of playoff hopes. So, and they're looking at us as the Detroit Lions. They're looking at us as a team that they can go get this dub against. They know it. And Matt Patricia, regardless, obviously we do have a vendetta against him, but I think he's more or less probably doing what he's told from Belichick, as far as heavily influenced from them, and it seemed to work for him the first time around when he was there. I mean, who doesn't look great under Belichick?
Right.
We could probably be O&D coordinator for sure. So I look at it for what Belichick can do, and just certain things, like you said, the defense is out of line as far as playing unconventional football. Blitzing on 3rd and long. For some reason, we love him. Been rooting for him since he was 18, but for some reason, he can't seem to coach Hutchin and not running himself out of the play. And I'm sure Belichick's going to put together all type of trickery
coming right at him.
Yep, for Hutchin. I think he's about to have 20 sacks in the game. Meanwhile, he gave up 200 rushing yards from his side.
Yeah.
I envision that coming up, and I just think whether Aaron Glenn can coach or not, I don't think he's been put in the best spot as far as I've said it's 100 times, and I'll say 100 more.
Talent.
We should have drafted defense. Should have drafted
Yeah.
defense. Dean should have been a Lion. Potentially Jordan Davis should have been a Lion. A couple other people.
Sign or Cine.
Yep.
Yep.
So I just think there was certain things that were no-brainers that we wouldn't have the 32nd ranked defense in the league right now. And whether he's good or not, currently speaking, we have the number one offense, and we're not using a receiver that we drafted.
Yeah.
So potentially we could be sitting at like at least break even or 3-1 if we had a couple of players in there, a couple more players. So
I agree.
Wrap everything up. I think Aaron Glenn, although he's been put in a bad spot, he's also making coaching blunders, but he's probably going to be the scapegoat in this situation, the sacrifice lamb. He's going to get cleared out, fired, and we'll see if that makes any correction or not on the defense. But he's going to get cleared out and fired, and then from there, wash our hands, and we'll think, oh well, the Rams aren't doing that good. We have 2 high picks.
Right. So I think the thing that kind of gets me even with that is like I mean, we know the defense is depleted, and that's conversation for a whole other day. I just don't understand how conversation for another day. But I just think even like he's not even putting like the guys he has, because they got 2, 3, 4 guys on defense that are solid. You know what I'm saying? But like he's not even putting them in like good position to be successful. Like running a lot of like just man and blitz, just can't do that in today's league without a pass rush. Right. Like that's what's killing us. Like Hutch is trying, and he, I think more of him probably even kind of run like a madman is because like he's the only guy. Like they don't have. I mean, Charles Harris is straight. We got some guys that are on the way. Hopefully, in the next few weeks, we can get back. But like, you got to just understand what your personnel looks like. And I'm not no coach, but everybody understand. Like most people understand that like running like more zone is going to help like a defense that's not as bad. Like you just can't straight run man in the league consistently the way he did on Sunday. Because it don't matter who it is. Like we talk. Obviously it wasn't Mahomes, but like these guys all get up and they do what they do.
And
put the grind in.
Geno Smith is a gunslinger.
Yeah,
Motherfucker had like 700 yards and 8 touchdowns in the game at West Virginia. Like
he's
guaranteed he can hit the open receiver. That's
right.
One thing I know he can do. That's one.
We made him look like, and no offense to him, but he, what I'm saying, keep it what it was. He was sitting there. He was a backup the last like 8, 9 years. Made him look like Pat Mahomes on Sunday. Like we look like. And like no knock to him, but he literally
we made him look how Matt Flynn looked against us like 8 years ago when
pitch and catch 20. Yep. I mean, it was 26 to 31. Like they were running against air. That's what it looks like now. Like we got, and then I think one thing too, even like I'm rambling now, but one thing too, even like that Commanders game, Carson Wentz had 3 touchdowns and like 300 yards. Granted, it was in garbage time, but it's like get off the field. Yeah. Like you got to get off the field. These teams are 75% on third down against us. Something crazy right now. Probably worse than that. Like we literally will play, do fine first, second down, but like that's the important down is third down. Getting team off the field and getting your offense back on the field so we can start putting up some of these points, but not be like just completely behind, like 2 touchdowns going into the 4th because we can't stop nobody. So he probably, like you say, he'll probably end up being a scapegoat though.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do think there is some blame to go around, but I think kind of dealt a bad hand, and then you played the hand bad.
Right.
So
it sucks. We didn't prioritize nobody in free agency. I mean, obviously we're not going to get guys like Bobby Wagner and some of these other free agents, but like we re-signed Tracy Walker, and that was really the extent of it.
Right.
They show
even try to throw a little bit of money, like
yeah. And it sucks because it's like
Honey Badger.
Yeah.
Wagner, like you said. I mean, even if we
be in the mix.
Bro, yeah. Great. We went and got Shirk.
Yeah. Like it's
and truth be told, it did look like we needed some receivers then. But
right.
But yeah, I mean we showed what we prioritized,
Right. Yeah, because that's why we can definitely move.
Maybe Ben Johnson was in the ear a little bit more than Aaron Glenn was, but it just,
That's a good call. I mean, because I get it. Like Jameson Williams, probably gonna be a dog. Like I get the pick. Say this though, like we watch quarterbacks all the time take guys off the street and just still continue to be successful. Like I'm just not so crazy about getting like skill players that high.
Right.
And then you sacrifice multiple picks to get a skill player that high. Like now you're depleted in other areas. We're in a building stage where I feel like we still should have prioritized defense with those extra picks. And I just got the shiny new toy that's still in the garage until like mid-November.
100%. So we gave up what? 2 picks to get Jameson.
I think maybe 3.
3. Okay, so that's what I thought.
Yep.
I didn't want to miss. Okay, so 3 picks. That's 3 players. Should be, let's call it 2 starters. We gave up 2 starters to get a guy that's not playing. So my question is, will Jameson Williams even be as good as St. Brown, who was a 4th round pick?
Yeah.
You know, that's that time will tell. But I'm saying, if he has to be the clear number 1.
Yeah, because St. Brown looked like
he has to be
Smith right now.
Justin Jefferson. He has to be Chase. He has to be Metcalf. He has to be in that breath in order for this to be worth it. Because St. Brown is one of the top 10 receivers, and we got him with the 160 pick. So that's the bar. That's what we were rooting. That's why we thought you were winning before, is because we were getting these diamonds in the rough. Mm-hmm. Now we're doing more of what has never worked before, and that's getting a fancy receiver.
Yeah, and I hope you hope that production gonna be there. Like I said, he obviously no training camp, not a whole lot of that going on, so it's gonna take a little while. But I mean, I'm seeing Olave 100 yards receiving, Garrett Wilson catching game-winning touchdowns, Drake London doing his thing. Like that, I agree with you. The production had better be there.
Yep.
I mean, Goff doing what he's doing, but I'm not
even really trying to. I'm not a guy that questions whatever. I'm not, and it sounds more harsh than it is. But really, like, why ain't he back yet?
Yeah.
Not
like, sure.
Like he tore it in first week of January. That's when the championship game is.
Yeah.
This is 10 months out. Last year, my man for the Rams tore his shit in August and played in playoffs.
Yeah. No, it's a good call.
I'm just saying, this is about the timeline where your ass should be back. I'm not trying to be rude, but just being 100. This is about the timeline where we should see some videos of you doing some shit in practice, or we should, we should see something that gives us some excitement. Or I'm beginning to think we ain't gonna see him. We're gonna bring him back when we 1-9 with a knee that he had a little tender on. That'll make sense.
And that's when he really at risk. That's when you put plays at risk like that.
I can't even think of. We got Nate Sudfeld passing to him when we 1-9, and risking that knee. No, we ain't gonna see him this year. So, it is what it is. I think I don't know. We cannot be happy. You cannot take this as Lions, as fans. This is
like I said,
it's a relationship at this point.
And it's funny because you and me both try to just talk ourselves into like, oh yeah, James Williams, solid pick. And I'm still just like, because you even hear like, other Lions fans, we know they love him. They think it's amazing pick. They love the home run. But in my mind, I'm like, well, we just signed Sharp, got St. Brown last year. Like it's, when is the defense going to get that proper attention? Like that's where.
So let's look at the Eagles. The Eagles drafted 2, I personally think, going to be stud defense players.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis and Dean.
Yep.
And then they went and traded a 4th round pick and got Brown at receiver.
Oh, they got a first round. They traded a first.
Oh, I thought he was less than that, but okay.
Yeah, they traded a first, and then I think first like a 4th round pick.
But either way, you can get receivers.
You can do it. Yeah.
You can get receivers for 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, proven 1,000-yard receiver guys year in and year out.
Yeah.
For close to nothing.
Right.
And I just think that's the world you have to live in. Proven guys for 4th round picks.
So I think we were even like on like the same page even too, because we talked about it. Like there was a point in time where I'm like, yeah, we might have to grab a receiver, and it sounded crazy. I didn't want him first round necessarily, but I'm like, okay, we got like, late, early 2nd round, like that'll probably be a good little, you know what I'm saying, like good spot to grab somebody.
4 picks in the top 40.
Yeah,
traded them off
like,
for one dude.
Right. So I'm like, okay, like let's get, another weapon just to kind of help on the offensive side. But it's, me and you both, it's been defense from jump. Just I don't know. I don't love just sitting here watching these track meets. Because the offense, that is what it is. That's whatever. Like every team can do that. But I want to be able to stop somebody and be able to impose our will on a team, like, from a defensive standpoint. Like right now we're losing pretty. Like that's it.
I just wanted to fact check because I was tripping, but like somebody like George Pickens was the 52nd pick.
Easy.
And we had 2 picks in the 40s.
Yeah.